Happy sunshine. Welcome back to Salty Sunshine Podcast. This week we're doing an audio only solo episode because Bree is traveling. So it didn't really work out for us to video and have her on here cuz she's like all over the place. So, I really just want to talk about Love Island USA, but I'll recap some other stuff and then we'll get into it because I think I've lost my mind with that show. It's so good. Um, all right, so I saw Trigger Warning with Jessica Alba on Netflix. I thought it was really good, although and really bad at the same time, if that makes sense. Like it was entertaining to watch. I definitely liked it. I love Jessica Alba. I think she's great, but and it's not her fault because whoever wrote the script, I don't like when they leave out so much detail. I have like all these questions, like you can't just go murder all these people and then get in your pickup truck and go back to like whatever, right? So just there was a lot of key points missing and it was a little unrealistic, which I don't like unrealistic, but it's a good movie. It's entertaining. Suggest you watch it. It was great. Um The Boys on Prime. Is anybody watching The Boys on Amazon Prime? It's like the third or fourth season that just started. That show, it's so freaking gory and perverted, but it's a really good show at the same time. So it's like I love to hate it because I like the show. I think it's so quality, but it's like, do we need to be that perverted and creepy and that gory? I mean, I get the gory part because like they're superheroes, but my gosh, it is twisted. But it's good. It's a good show. I'm watching it. I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't know how many seasons they can milk out of this because I feel like the plot's kind of like plateaued. But it's a really good show. I'm sure all the men like it because it's so action packed and gory. Um, all right, let's talk some Bravo. Does anybody watch Real Housewives of Dubai? I actually enjoy it because, as opposed to the other shows, there's not that much fighting, which I hate. Like, I think all these shows are, I think Bravo's done, in my opinion, as far as these reality shows. You just keep watching because you've been watching for so long, you want to keep in the know. But I don't want to watch something that everyone hates each other and all they do is fight and talk about the same thing for 5 weeks. It's like nobody wants to see that. I don't know how anyone watches it anymore because I find myself distracted on my phone. Like I'm not really paying attention because it's not entertaining. I don't know why people think watching shows that people get along and have fun is actually entertaining. It's like be real because this is not real. That's not real life. You're not going to hang around someone that you can't stand that much all the time. But Real Housewives of Dubai, I think is entertaining. I like the girls; are beautiful. They dress nice. Like they're witty. Like Caroline, everyone. It's great, and they don't fight that much. And when they do fight, it's not like drag out fights and pettiness, and it's like almost embarrassing. You cover your eyes because you're so embarrassed about what comes out of their mouth. They don't have that kind of thing, so I like it. Real Housewives of New Jersey, what a trash shit show. Like again, the stark contrast. Like at least the girls on Dubai, like they're intelligent, they're well spoken, they know how to converse. On the other hand, Jersey, they don't know how to say words, they don't know how to pronounce words, they say things that don't make sense, they're petty, they're immature. It's like an embarrassment to like womanhood and motherhood because they just take it to a level that's so degrading. And like now with this last episode that Jen put her hand, like kind of pushed Danielle, and Danielle like hit her across the face with the glass. I mean, for your children to see you, how do you turn around and tell your kids like how to behave in school with having that on national TV? It's just wild. It's like cut it out. Like I think this is such a trash situation. I don't know what's gonna happen. I heard through the grapevine. I think probably on I think Heather McDonald on Juicy Scoop said that she's pretty sure that Jen Aiden was fired for that and she won't be returning, but we'll see. I mean, obviously Teresa's the one that has to go because she's so like stupid. I don't know. But that there's a lot of drama going on in Jersey. And what's the other one going? Oh, Real Housewives of OC I don't think has started. But that's all I saw as far as reality TV. Um there's this article here. A pastor is selling plots of land in heaven for $100 a pop. I've seen it all. Like that, the fact that we have people in this world that this is an article and it's like actually happening, like I want to know who bought them. Who thought this is a great investment? So he claims to have received permission from God and he's charging $100 per square meter for real estate for the simple price of $100. Pictures of the offer have been circulated on social media, showing a brochure with an elaborate depiction of a holy house in the clouds. The illustration features a family ascending a golden staircase to their new celestial home. The brochure also clarifies that the church accepts various payment options, including PayPal, Pay, Google Pay, Visa, MasterCard, and American Express. Like, this is just silly. It's silly. And whoever buys this is also very silly. Like, come on. This is where you got to say, like, you know what? You're an adult. If you're going to be dumb, you better be tough. And this is on you. Like, come on. Wild. Just crazy. So I thought that was interesting. In bad news, Nationwide Pet Insurance has canceled their pet policy division. And that's devastating because imagine you have like pet insurance and your dog has an existing condition and they're either going through treatment or they're going to need it very soon. And now you have no pet insurance. And guess what? They're not going to allow you to be covered for that existing condition under another insurance because it's now considered a pre-existing condition, which I think should be outlawed because what is the point of insurance if not for your pre-existing conditions? Like, how silly. 100,000 pets in Florida are affected, and they're blaming inflation, which hits the vet costs, and it's not feasible for them anymore to offer it. But again, they shouldn't be able to pull the rug out from under you like that. They should have to, I don't know, give you 6 months or something. Like, that's crazy. So that's not good news. So if you have nationwide pet insurance, I'm sure you got a letter in the mail, but I hope you can find something else for your babies. Um, Widow gets weird. Oh my gosh. So I did see this other article that I thought was funny. A widow, so this woman's a widow, and then her ex sister in law pops up after I don't know how long, and she asks if the widow would give her back the jewelry from her dead brother, which was the widow's husband. Um, But the widow said, no, like I already melted it down and made it into something else. And how awkward, like this request is bizarre. He died of a drunk driver hitting him. Unfortunately, it was 5 years ago. And she remains close to her sister in law. But she was stunned when the sister in law just showed up and asked for the jewelry so she can have something of her brother's, which is totally unreasonable. I don't think that's an appropriate thing to ask for from a widow. But she doesn't know what to do, and she's stunned, and she took to Reddit to ask people like what she should do. So, anyways, what would you guys do? Would you give it back? Would you get in a fight with her? Would you tell her she's that's not okay? She said the widow says it's changed her relationship drastically with her because now it's awkward. And that's a shame. She should just tell her straight up. I know you miss your brother. I don't know what's behind this request. I think it's a little odd, but I don't want it to change our relationship, but absolutely not. Like that's not your place. That's not going to happen, but I don't want this to change. Like maybe she just should be really honest with her and let her know, which I know is easier said than done, but I think it's the best way, honesty and like just keep it real. So that is what I have for stories because I want to get into Love Island. Who is watching Love Island USA? So I've seen I saw Love Island USA Hawaii, and that was a great season. That was amazing. And there's still people that are together from that season. I loved it. So I still follow people that were on that season. Like it was great, great, great. The season after that of USA was awful. It was like a little raunchy, like whatever. The cast was not good. It was like watching Girls Gone Wild or something on Miami Beach. So I haven't seen it since then. I did see Love Island, like Australia, I think, a while back, which was amazing. And then I don't think I've ever seen a UK one. Long story short, I love Obsessed. I love dating shows. I love a good one. I love when it's people that are not stars, that they're not reality stars. They've never been on anything else. Like they're actually there to meet people and see how it goes, and if they can find a partner. And I love it. I love the psychology. I love just everything. That's why I hated The Perfect Match, because it's a bunch of has-beens that think they're stars because they've been on all these dumb reality shows you never heard of, and they have an ego and they're jocks and they're there to play a game, and that I don't want to watch. That's like watching the Real Housewives fight over zucchini. But I do love Love Is Blind. I think is top tier, and then Love Island when they have a good cast like this season. Chef's kiss. Obsessed. It's so good. So let's go through the couples. I'm caught up. I didn't start watching till late. Like I literally started watching 4 days ago, and they play it every day, like 5 days a week. So actually, yeah, 5 days a week, including Sunday, and they're off Wednesday. So it's a lot of content to consume, and I caught up. I'm up to date. I'm waiting on the edge of my seat for tonight's episode on Friday, and it's just so good. So, all right, obviously the main couple there that everyone talks about is Leah and Rob. Rob is gorgeous. He's cute. I do notice he has a balding spot on the back of his head, which I think would make all the girls that are heartbroken over him feel a little better. I know it would make me feel better. Because don't you ever look at a guy and think, what are they going to look like in 10, 20, 30 years? Because, it's easy to look hot when you're young. When 10, 20 years pass, I mean, that's when the real test comes. And he does have like a little balding spot on the back. You could see it, with the angle of the camera when they're on, above him. And I wonder if he's aware. I wonder if he'll notice when he watches it back that he has a balding spot and he needs to get on that red light therapy or whatever you do for that. He should get on it. But anyways, he's really handsome. He's from Alabama. All the girls like him. And I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't think he's a gaslighter or even a prick. What I think is he's super immature. And they're all young, but he's like he throws tantrums. That's never great. But he really liked Leah at first, and she liked him. And then he got stolen away by Liv, and he was visibly unhappy about that. So then he goes back to Leah, and then he falls straight for a bombshell that comes in the house and leaves Leah for her. That is not that bad. I mean, that's what the show is for. The only thing he didn't do is like say, look, I'm planning on leaving you for her. But why would he do that? Like, it's so uncomfortable. He should, that's what they do. That's what they're there for. No one's going to say straight up, I like this person more than you, because then you got to play the game. You have to have a backup. If the other person doesn't reciprocate your feelings, you need like to stay in the game and be with the other one. So I get why they do that. I mean, this is not Honesty Island, it's Love Island. So I don't think he was being that bad. I just don't like the tantrum he threw and the drama he's causing. He looks like a fool. But anyways, I'm curious to see if he ends up hooking up with anyone else, and B, if he ends up with Andrea again in any capacity after this is done. Because remember, this is kind of live taped. They tape one day and it's airing the next day, so we're watching it in real time. So okay, and now so Leah, again, everyone's mad at her because in this season, in this last episode, they voted off Andrea. Everyone's freaking out. Why are they freaking out? If I feel like I got screwed and the girl that came in stole my man, and I have a choice, I'm given the choice, who do you want to send home? I'm voting for that person. That is natural human behavior. Hello. And she should have been honest with Rob and everybody else and say, you know what, I voted for her to go home because I feel messed over. Like, that's normal. That is normal behavior. She should have owned it. She should have been like, I had a I had a vote in it, and that was my vote. And what? What is it to you? And then no one can say anything because she's being honest. And you know what? It's super valid because a lot of people would do the same thing. Let's not all pretend we're not going to be petty because we're hurt. I mean, that's how people are, and it's very normal. So I think she should stop explaining herself and just be like, she stole my man and you pissed me off. That was my vote. I have nothing else to say about it. That's fair. So anyways, everyone's upset about her, and I wish she would like change her tune on that. And then Liv totally turned on her. Liv is so hard. She needs to lighten up. She's way too abrasive. And then she wonders why like nobody gets past her looks, because her personality is too much, and if she doesn't take out that water bottle from her mouth every time she's talking to a guy, I'm going to lose my mind. Like, she just talks to them, and the whole time that straw's in her mouth, like she's sipping. Like, why are you so dehydrated? I don't understand. So I feel bad for her. Someone has to tell her. Maybe when she watches this, it'll change her life and the way she moves, because she definitely needs to lighten up and have a bubblier like way about her, because it's way too abrasive. Jana obviously she's the prettiest girl there. Actually, her and Serena, they're the two prettiest like facials. They're so pretty. But I don't think there's any matches for them there. I don't think there's a match there for Jana as far as I see so far. And then Serena and Cordell, I think it's perfectly normal. Again, everyone's like, she's dogging him, she's dogging him. I don't think she's dogging him. She doesn't really, for these people just met each other. They don't know much. And it takes a little bit for it to like, to see who they are, what they like, if they grow on you, if they don't. It's a slow burn, it's a fast burn. That's the name of the game. I don't think she has bad intentions. I think she's the realest one there. Serena, I'm talking about. She is just amazing. I love her. I wish we could be friends. I love the way she is. She's classy. She's soft spoken, but she stands like on what she says. And when she left Cordell this last time in the dancing game, she just wants to like see what else is going on. She knows new people are coming in, and then she went, and then she likes him again. Like, I think he's being patient and he's just being understanding. And I'm sure if he found someone else that he liked, he would talk to her too. But that hasn't happened, so he's just going with the flow. I think it's perfectly normal, and I like them. I don't know if they'll end up together, but they're super cute. And I can't stand the braids he had when he first started. And when he let his hair loose, it's so much better. My gosh. He looked kind of silly, like a little kid with the braids in his hair. So he didn't look manly. So you couldn't take him seriously. But now that his hair's loose, I like it better. And if he cut it short, he'd look even cuter, in my opinion. And then he'd look manlier and she'd take him more seriously, I think. Um, Obviously, Aaron and Kaylor, which is such a weird name, Kaylor. I've never heard of that name. They're the perfect couple. Everyone that's hating on them, saying there's something fishy, no, they're beautiful. They connected right away. I love it. When you know, you know. And so I think they're gonna stay together. And if they don't, that would be very sad. But they're amazing. I love them together. Connor, oh my gosh, this poor guy. When he first walked into the villa, I immediately, when they do like that slow motion, fast walking in, I was like, oh my god, this guy, that's the epitome of the kind of guy I do not find myself attracted to. He's too muscular, he's too jock, he walks funny. I don't know, the narrator said at one point that it looked like he had like invisible floaties under his arms because they were like sticking out. That's not my kind of guy whatsoever. I like a slim toned, classy, tan like guy. I don't like that jockey look. But even his personality, the way he speaks, it's a little jockey too. It's like a little da da da. He actually played Jaina. He's like upset, saying that Leah played him, but he played Jaina, or Jano. So I don't know what his deal is. She did the same thing to him that he did to Jana. So I don't know what he's talking about. Um, Nicole and Kendall. Kendall's really cute. Um, Kendall's one of those guys that could be in a group of girls and they tell him all their problems, and he's like, yeah, he's all into the gossip. He's a little too into it, but that's what makes the girls like him as a friend, because he's one of those guys that you can have around, and it's like he's your BFF, but you don't necessarily want that like as a woman though. You don't want a guy to be with a guy that's like everyone's BFF. But it's a cute, endearing characteristic, but it's not something that's attractive to a woman, I think. Um, but Nicole getting upset with him. What does she think Kendall's gonna do? Just sit there and fight for her? I wouldn't, I wouldn't think it's reasonable to think a guy is gonna like, yeah, he could say, look, I really like you. if things change with him, like I'm here. Like I don't think it's appropriate to think a guy's gonna fight for you when you're downright telling him that you're into someone else. I don't think I think it's different if the guy was like fighting for her and then Kendall comes in and is like, no, that's my girl. That's different. But she's out of her mouth saying she's interested in the guy too. So that changes the dynamic. And she should know that because it's common sense. No one wants to hear that. And then she's upset because Kendall's talking to someone else. It's like so silly. That's like the epitome of how women are not rational. Like you have to think things through. Like, come on. That doesn't make sense. So that's where we are. So I think at this point, Rob, Liv, Leah, and Miguel, none of them are like coupled up as far as like on the same page with a partner. So all of those people are seeing on Jana. And so tonight we'll see what happens. Then Rob comes and tells Leah that he's so disappointed she likes. So first he tells her, when Andrea first came in the house, he tells her, you're not validating my feelings. It's about my feelings. She's heartbroken because you're into another chick and you're telling her she needs to worry about your feelings. No, sir. No, I don't. And now you're saying again, you lied to me, you betrayed me, when again, you're talking about a girl you left me for. So X two out of two, you're wrong. I don't owe you anything. You hurt me and you're being the insensitive prick. That's what she should have told him. So I don't owe you anything or the girl you left me for. Like, are you kidding? So that was Rob yesterday, and I'm going to watch tonight. I can't wait. And then I have to wait till Sunday to see the next one. I don't know how many episodes are left. I think they're coming to the end. I think they do the Casa Amor thing when they kind of like invite some oldies back, or the people that are already there, like they get to like spend alone time. What? That's another question I have. Why do they all have to sleep in the same room in tiny beds, like literally right next to each other? I think it's a little weird. It's very uncomfortable. If I were ever to want to do that show, I wouldn't do it just because of that. I don't want to sleep in a bed like with a million people in there. Like they're probably snoring, they're staying up all night, maybe they're talking, maybe they're doing things they shouldn't be doing. Like what? I don't want to sleep through that. I could never. So it's a ginormous house and they're all in one room. It doesn't make sense. But they're gonna go to Casa Amor and they're gonna have alone time and like get down and dirty with whoever. And that's when the waterworks are gonna come out and everyone's gonna be crying and being like, how could you? So that'll be fun. And I can't wait to watch. So I think that's it for Love Island. And for this short mini audio only episode, I'll be back next week. I may or may not have another mini solo episode because Brianna's not back until the end of next week through 4th of July. So we'll see what her schedule's like. But if anything, it'll just be me recapping more Love Island and anything else juicy that comes up. All right. See you later. Bye.